Welcome back to the Tempo Storm Wild Hearthstone Meta Snapshot. While we await the coming March of the Lich King expansion, plus the just-announced Death Knight class, we have a few decks we'd love you to try to up your game on the Wild ladder. But first, a big curveball has been thrown at all Hearthstone players. All cards from Knights of the Frozen Throne up through the coming expansion are all standard legal. Added to the core set temporarily, so many old Wild format friends have turned our sibling format on its head. Over here in Wild, however, things have not changed all that much. Shadow Reaper Anduin, Frost Lich Jaina, Blood Reaver Gul'dan, just another day at the office. Spreading Plague, Defile, better play around them. So if you have found yourself missing these cards, here's one quick thought. Maybe you should try Wild. It's where all of your old favorite cards have their forever home. Want to get started in this format but aren't sure where to begin? We've got you covered. As we approach March of the Lich King, the Wild format appears fairly well solved. Reno Priest and Miracle Rogue remain in Tier 1. Both should be fairly familiar to you by now, as both have been up here for quite some time. They are joined this meta snapshot by Freeze Shaman, which has made its triumphant return to the top of the format. A word about Freeze Shaman. Its return is quite remarkable. This archetype was an absolute terror before Snowfall Guardian's nerf. Now, it's back on the strength of its Murloc package. Able to contest more aggressively early and mid-game, as well as disrupt with big boys like Mutinous with cheesy Scargill turns, Freeze Shaman can quite aggressively curve into its late game, where Shudderwalk awaits. Give this archetype a try if you've been sleeping on it. You might be pleasantly surprised. Tier 2 should also look quite familiar. It is made up of the Wild format's most prominent aggro decks, many of which are seeing a ton of play. Expect to see the likes of Even Shaman, Secret Mage, and Beast Hunter on your climb, so plan accordingly. Back in Tier 2 after a quick dip down this meta snapshot is also Pirate Rogue, which is still a threat as one of our format's premier aggressive archetypes. All of these hyper-quick threats are joined by our format's two best Druid options, Reno Druid and Dragon Druid. Tier 3 is headed up by an old friend that may just be on the rise again, Quest Mage. While we perhaps underrated this persistent combo threat in our last meta snapshot, it is still hard countered by Secret Mage, which should limit its potential to rise much higher. Quest Mage is joined in Tier 3 by other fast combo decks that can suffer against Secret Mage, including Mecha'thun Warlock and Pillager Rogue. Also down in Tier 3 are several previously Tier 1 archetypes that have fallen on hard times, including Big Priest and even Warlock. While both of these are wholly capable of winning games, along with everything else in Tier 3, they often lack the punch of the decks above them in this meta snapshot. Lastly, a note on Tier 4. As usual, it is an absolute graveyard of archetypes that still exist, at least on paper. Our only warrior deck in Rage Warrior is down here, which shows you how far the class has fallen after the multiple nerfs to the warrior questline, Raid the Docks. For now, enjoy a relatively stable format and beware the coming of the Death Knight. For all who recall the madness that was the pre-nerf start of Demon Hunter's addition to the Wild format, we're all taking a deep breath before what comes next. No matter what happens, we'll break it all down for you here at the Tempo Storm Wild Hearthstone Meta Snapshot.